Hello and Happy New Year. As this is my first video of 2024, I thought today I would do a little bit of looking back and then looking forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share snippets from my 2023 year, and then I'm going to share a little bit about how I plan for the year ahead. So in terms of looking back, there is kind of three things that I do really. The first of them is to sort of review and look at the things I've achieved, not just in my business, but in life in general. And the useful thing about that is it really makes you realise how much you've done, even though it might not have felt like that at the time. And so I'm going to do that in a minute by sharing with you some snippets of visuals. The second thing I do is to think about, are there things that, or is there a thing in the year which resonated with me, which was a sort of a bit of a, not exactly a revelation, but something that was highlighted to me. And in my case this year, it was very much about drawing and work on location and the importance of that and the importance of keeping drawing going throughout the whole of my creative practice rather than having just snippets or bits of it, fits and starts. So that was one thing for me. And then the third thing that I do is to say, what is it that was done in 2023 or in the year that I want to take forward with me into the following year and into 2024. And in my case, the thing that resonated with me and that I want to bring forward is this idea of connections with people face to face. Because although I love interactions online, through the things that I did, the exhibitions, Goose Fest and other things throughout the year, it made me realise the importance to me as well of these face-to-face interactions. So that's something I want to build into my year for 2024. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some highlights from my year 2023. So in the first quarter of 2023, I started to develop my wild flora paintings, and they very much were in process for several months. And at the same time as that, I was also developing my new website, which is now at www.lizackleyart.com. And here I'm just sharing with you some visuals of that website. So you can see there's a shop on it with paintings, with sketchbooks. I've got my courses on there, and also explanation about how I work as an artist out in the landscape and back in the studio. And here is my lovely little imported camper van, Cassandra, a Nissan, which is great as a mobile studio. So in the second quarter, my wild flora paintings were released onto my website. I finished them, and here they are sitting, or some of them sitting in the studio. And subsequent to that, I was able to take part in an exhibition through Manchester Academy of Fine Art, because in the first quarter I've been accepted into the organisation as a member. And here you see the first exhibition that I was involved with, which is at Dean Clough in Halifax, and here I am with a couple of my wild flora paintings. And as the weather improved, I was able to get out in my camper van, and here is one of the wonderful trips I did, which is to the northeast coast, and this is the wonderful Skinning Grove, which is where these fascinating fishermen's huts are, which I'm now calling the ramshackles, and which has been informing my work. Here are some of the this is one of the first drawings, and then as you can see, I'm parked my van right close to the huts. And subsequently in the next quarter, I started developing my drawings on location of these huts, and also formed a group back in the studio using all manner of drawing techniques, including blind contour, and here I am doing one of them, creating one of them. And then some of these were selected for subsequent exhibitions, including the next MAFRA exhibition, which was at Manchester Cathedral in September. And two of my ramshackles were part of that exhibition, as you can see here. And then subsequently in September, I also took part in Goose Fest, which is an art in the barn exhibition or a show in Cheshire, and had a number of my paintings available. And what a wonderful situation that was to talk to people. And then in the final quarter of the year, very excitingly, I was able to exhibit at the Mall Galleries, having been shortlisted for the drawing bursary with the Discerning Eye. And here I am with my 3 drawings. And subsequently, I'm developing paintings of the ramshackles, mixed media paintings. And finally, as collage is such a fundamental component of all my work, I started to develop an online course called Your Collage Compositions. Hello, so now I'm out in the van, as you can see, and I thought it would be a good idea to review and think about the year ahead and develop some plans for that in this environment, just because it's my sort of happy place, and a lot of what I do out on the landscape is connected to the van now because it's become my mobile studio. So when I'm looking forward, and I'm only going to cover this in a couple of minutes, so if I need to come back to it, if there's a feeling amongst you that you want to have more detail, then I'm happy to do that. But in the first instance, I just wanted to share with you broadly what I do. So I do two things. The cars going past, by the way, I was going to be going further up into the countryside, but it's quite a misty day, so hence why I'm here and why sometimes you hear the cars going past. Two things that I do. I first of all do this sort of almost like dream big, expansive, think about what you want to achieve in your work, in your home life, in life in general. And I do that in the first instance. So I've been doing this for a few years. I originally was a part of a business group, and so this is where I started doing it. But first of all, I do this sort of like, it's almost like a mood board where I'm thinking about aspects of my art and my life that I want to achieve. And so on here, you'll see this idea of my living, the idea of my home studio, the idea of the van, which is now obviously in place, the idea of connection with nature. So there's a whole lot of kind of blue sky thinking on there. Now, having done that 4 years ago in 2020, since then, each year, I don't necessarily look at that in the first instance, but I do this kind of mind map idea, which you'll have seen me do before. And so I have, as you can see here, this is just a quote, which is, whatever you do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius and power and magic in it. So that's the kind of like the sort of the kind of mindset, really. So then what I subsequently do is I do that, and then I compare it to the 2020, and things tweak and evolve over time. What I also think about is a word for the year. And so this year for me, I'm going to have the word consolidation, because I feel there's a lot of things I want to consolidate that I have started and been working on. But having a word can be quite helpful. It's something to tie things together. And then I work in my planner to develop my year's plans and what I want to achieve. And so I'm just going to briefly share with you. But what I would say is, this is quite interesting. Look closely at the present you are constructing. It should look like the future you are dreaming. So this idea of the big dream, it connects in because, of course, all of those small steps create the bigger dreams. So that's useful. So now what I want to do quite briefly is just to share with you how I go about being organised through the year. And it's not set in stone, and there's a lot of flexibility, and different people have different ways of doing it. But this is how I do it. So I have this book, and I've been doing this for a while because I've been in a business group where this was suggested. And you know, it's just one of those things that stuck for me, and I evolve it year on year. It's an A5 notebook, which is actually blank. But it's filled with these small squares, so it makes it easy to then make it into the plans that I want. So what I then do is I just create a weekly planner, a monthly planner, and an annual planner within that. And let me show you what I mean by that. So it's the weekly planner really that is the focus in the first instance. So for each week I do this. And so I have the days down the side, and then I obviously have an area for each day, and usually I've got 2 or more things that I'm doing on that day. It's just the way I like to do it. And here I write my focus areas for the week, and I do that at the beginning of each week so that I have a framework. So that's all very well, but so at the end of the month I then transfer a summary to my monthly planner. So for each month I have a monthly planner, so I can see what I've achieved in each of the weeks. And then on a quarterly basis, I transfer that to this annual planner. So I have three months in the quarter. I fill in the key elements of each of those months, and then I do a little bit of a review, and it just helps me to stay on track and to work out where things are heading, whether things need to change or evolve. And it's just a sort of framework really, rather than just sort of floating along. Now, what I would say is that I am not filling all of this book in, at the beginning of the year. I'm just starting by just putting a framework in so I can add things as I go, and it's just a way of keeping on track. It's not something to get too overwhelmed by, and when things go awry, just kind of pull back. But one of the things I would say as well is that when you do your review looking back, that's quite helpful, and that's just how I create a list of key focus areas that have come from me looking back and having that feel of what I want to achieve in the year, and then subsequently those are used to form my projects. And so what for each quarter I have these big projects, maybe 2 projects at most. I find 3 too much. Oftentimes people talk about having 3 projects in a quarter. I find that usually too much, but it depends obviously on the size of the project and how you like to work. So for example, on any one quarter I might well have a big creative project, which could be a body of work, a series of work that I'm doing out in the landscape and then back in the studio. And another project might be something like developing an online course or my website or something, or whatever it is that suits where you're at really. And then I have the sort of details of those projects, and those projects then inform how I set up my week. So for example, because I'm wanting this quarter to work on my ramshackles and also to work on an online course, I might well be splitting my days between them. So I might have half a day on each of them, for example, or whatever works for you, and it's different for different people. So that is how I kind of do it. What will be really helpful as well, if you have the chances to drop me a note in the comments about what you would like to see on my YouTube this year. I can't promise I'll always address everything, but if you've got questions and things you want covered, it will be great to hear what those are, or so that I can evolve my YouTube, and so it's particular to what you all want. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.